Welcome to GlobeGazette. Today, we're diving into some of the strangest, most surprising laws from around the globe. These laws may seem bizarre at first, but many have fascinating cultural or historical origins. Let's unravel the stories behind them.
Now let's cluck our way to Quitman, Georgia, where we encounter a law that's sure to ruffle some feathers. In this charming town, there's an unusual law that makes it illegal for chickens to cross the road. The ordinance refers to chickens as a culinary delicacy sacred to the municipality, and states, "It shall be unlawful for any person owning or controlling chickens, ducks, geese, or any other domestic fowl to allow them to roam freely on the streets or alleys of the city or trespass on another person's property without their consent." This quirky law likely started as a way to prevent road hazards and ensure livestock stayed on their owner's property. Plus, it's a funny nod to the classic joke. While it's unclear if anyone has been fined for this, the law adds a unique twist to the age-old question: why did the chicken cross the road? So, if you find yourself in this charming southern town, remember to keep your feathered friends on a tight leash, or, should we say, in their coop. And now, moving on to another intriguing law, this time from the ultra-clean streets of Singapore.
Next, we're heading over to Singapore, a country known for being clean, efficient, and having pretty strict rules about, well, almost everything. And nothing shows this better than Singapore's famous chewing gum ban. You heard me right, chewing gum is a no-go here. Walk into any convenience store, and you'll notice the absence of this sticky treat on the shelves. So if you're planning a trip to Singapore, better leave your bubble gum at home. Enjoy the sights, the food, and the culture, but remember, no gum.
From a country with no chewing gum, we're traveling to a place where, well, you're not allowed to die. Yep, you heard that right. Welcome to Falciano del Masico, a small town in Italy with a very unusual law. It's against the law to die inside the town. This law is more of a symbolic thing than anything else. You see, Falciano del Masico has a little problem. Their cemetery is completely full. So, in 2012, the mayor made a funny rule forbidding residents from dying. It was a desperate attempt to get money to build a new cemetery and to get people talking about the town's problem, all with a little bit of dark humor. And while the town is still waiting for its new cemetery, the law is still in place.
From Italy, we're off to Japan, a country known for its awesome technology, unique culture, and apparently its government's interest in everyone's waistline. Because in Japan, there's a law that basically makes it illegal to be overweight. This law, called the Metabo Law, isn't about punishing people for being overweight. It's more about encouraging them to get healthier and slim down. This law started in 2008 and sets limits for how big people's waistlines can be if they're over 40 years old. The idea is to fight Japan's growing obesity problem and make sure the country's healthcare system can handle everyone's needs.
Alright, from Japan, let's hop over to France real quick. France is super famous for its yummy food, right? But get this, in France it's actually against the law to eat lunch at your desk. No kidding. It's part of their rules about working, and it's supposed to make sure people take real breaks and enjoy their food away from their computers. They want people to have a good balance between work and their regular lives, and to talk to each other while they eat. Think about it. No more gobbling down a sandwich while you're checking your email. Instead, you get to really enjoy your lunch, maybe even chat with your friends at work. It's all about having a good time, the French way.
Let's hop over to Milan, Italy. It's famous for fashion, art, and get this, a weird law about smiling. Yeah, you heard that right. In Milan, you're supposed to smile all the time. Except at funerals or hospitals, of course. That would be a bit creepy, right? This funny rule is super old, from way back in the Austro-Hungarian days. They wanted everyone in Milan to be happy, or at least look like they were. Now, don't worry, the police aren't going to arrest you for frowning. They don't really enforce it anymore. But the law is still there, like a little reminder to be cheerful. So, if you ever visit Milan, remember to smile. Unless you're at a funeral or a hospital, then you can be serious.
Alright, let's hop over to Australia. You know, the land of kangaroos and those awesome cookouts they call barbecues. One thing to remember though about driving in Australia, don't go crazy with the car horn. Seriously, over there, using your horn for anything other than a warning is against the law. Yep, you heard that right. No honking to say hi to your buddy, no beeping to get someone to notice you, and definitely no angry honking in traffic. They have this law to keep things peaceful on the roads and to make sure people only use their horns when it's really important for safety. So if you're cruising around Australia, remember to stay chill and only use that horn if you really need to.
Alright, let's jet off to Canada. You know the Great White North? Famous for saying sorry a lot, beautiful scenery and that yummy maple syrup. But get this, Canada has some pretty interesting rules about what you can hear on the radio. Seriously, it's against the law to play too many songs from artists who aren't Canadian. It's a real rule made by a group called the CRTC. It said that Canadian radio stations are required to play a certain amount of music by Canadian artists. But why is that? Commercial radio stations must dedicate at least 35% of their primetime music to Canadian artists. This rule, known as the Canadian Content (CanCon) regulation, aims to promote homegrown talent and preserve Canada's cultural identity in the music industry. So if you're listening to the radio in Canada, don't be surprised if you hear a bunch of Celine Dion, Drake, or The Weeknd. This rule helps Canadian musicians a lot. It gives them a chance to share their music and become famous. It's all about celebrating all the awesome music that comes from Canada. So next time you're in Canada, enjoy the music and remember, you're part of something special, keeping Canadian music alive.
From the land of polite, we cross the pond to the United Kingdom, a land of tea, crumpets, and apparently some very suspicious salmon. The UK is known for its unique laws that might leave you scratching your head. Because in the UK it's against the law to handle a salmon in a suspicious way. This might sound like a joke, but it's a real law. The law is part of the Salmon Act of 1986, which was established to protect salmon populations from illegal fishing practices. If you're caught with a salmon hidden under your jacket, you might want to call your lawyer. The law targets those who might be trying to poach salmon. It's about ensuring that salmon populations remain sustainable, and that fishing practices are fair and legal.
From the land of suspicious salmon, we fly off to Thailand, a land of beautiful beaches, delicious food, and apparently a deep respect for money. Because in Thailand, it's considered incredibly rude to step on money. Yes, you heard correctly. If you're caught carelessly stepping on a baht note, be prepared for some serious side-eye from the locals. In Thailand, money, like many things, is seen as having a kind of spirit. And stepping on money, especially banknotes with the picture of the King of Thailand, is considered disrespectful not only to the king but to the whole country. So, if you're walking down the street in Thailand and you see a coin or a banknote on the ground, do the right thing. Pick it up and give it to someone nearby.
Alright, let's go to the Philippines. It's super busy there and they're big on fairness. They even have something called the anti-sing-it law. It means no cutting in line, ever. Yep, you heard right. This law makes sure everyone waits their turn, so things are fair and organized. It's a simple way to keep things friendly and respectful. Now, if you try to sing it, that's what they call cutting in line, you might have to pay money or even do community service. So next time you're in the Philippines, remember to line up and wait patiently. Trust me, it's the right thing to do.
Alright, let's hop over to India. Want to be a car inspector there? Well, you gotta know the rules of the road, sure. But guess what? You also need good teeth. No kidding. It's the law. It's an unusual requirement. Under the Andhra Pradesh Transport Subordinate Service Rules 2009, one of the disqualifications for appointment to the position of Assistant Motor Vehicle Inspector is having decayed teeth. They want inspectors to be healthy and look good, I guess.
And finally, we arrive in Samoa, a beautiful island nation in the South Pacific, where the beaches are perfect, the people are friendly, and forgetting your wife's birthday is a big no-no. You heard me right. In Samoa, it's against the law to forget your wife's birthday. Birthdays are a time for family, for big meals, and for celebrating life. And forgetting your wife's birthday? Well, that's just not cool. Now, to be fair, this law isn't really enforced by the police, but you can be sure that your wife will let you know about it, and you'll probably be sleeping on the couch for a long time.
So, there you have it. A quick trip around the world to explore some of the most interesting laws out there. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to click the video on your screen for more incredible content. For additional travel tips and cultural insights, explore our channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more engaging and informative content. See you in the next video.